In the heart of Hue, ancient fires burn bright, marking the beginning of a sacred journey where raw metal transforms into a spiritual voice. At the spiritual capital of Vietnam, 30 years of craftsmanship is more than a career. It is a dedicated path between the elements of fire and bronze. Each great bell begins its existence with a sacred blessing, a divine intervention that prepares the workshop for the birth of a masterpiece. The ritual of purification cleanses the ground, bridging the gap between the earthly workshop and the ethereal realm of the Buddha's timeless teachings. With 3 decades of experience, the master artisan stands before the furnace, his mind focused and heart calm despite the heavy pressure of the task. The air is thick with anticipation as the veterans of the village prepare to turn lifeless dust into an eternal resonance that will echo for centuries. Listen to the light ring of the can, a precursor to the deep thunder that will soon emerge from the fiery belly of the earth. In this dusty workshop, the sacred meets the mundane, as ordinary men prepare to perform an extraordinary feat of physical and spiritual engineering. The hands that hold the tools are the same hands that have shaped the history of Hue's bronze casting for more than 30 years. The fire must be perfect, neither too weak nor too fierce, for it is the catalyst that will soon fuse soul and substance together. The foundation of every bell is the earth itself. The clay from the banks of the Perfume River is chosen for its unique resilience. Adding rice husks is a secret passed down through generations, creating a porous texture that allows the bronze to breathe during the intense casting. This is the creation of the core, the internal skeleton that will determine the final shape and the purity of the bell's internal voice. Precision is measured by the millimeter. Every curve of the mold must be perfectly symmetrical to ensure the sound waves travel evenly across the metal. Through hours of labor, the artisan becomes one with the earth, feeling the moisture and temperature of the clay through his very fingertips. Every drop of effort contributes to the soul of the bell. There is no room for haste when constructing the vessel for a divine sound. The mold must be strong enough to withstand the weight of molten bronze, yet fragile enough to be broken away once the work is done. A gentle heat cures the clay, turning it from soft mud into a stone-like ceramic that can endure the upcoming baptism of liquid fire. The ratio of clay to husk is a delicate balance, a trade secret held by the masters of the Phung Duc village for centuries. To the final skin of refined clay ensures the bronze surface will be as smooth as silk, reflecting the light like a golden mirror. Even the slightest misalignment could cause the bell to be mute, a silent tragedy for an artisan who seeks only perfect harmony. This emptiness is the womb of the bell. It is the void that will eventually hold the sound of 1,000 years of prayer. Experience speaks through touch. The master knows exactly when the mold is ready, sensing the readiness through the vibration in his palms. Time is an ingredient in this process. The earth must settle and breathe before it can be encased in the heat of the forge. Patience is the virtue of the craftsman. Between the earth and the fire, there is a period of stillness and silent preparation. With the mold complete, the physical preparation ends and the spiritual journey deepens as we prepare for the next intricate phase of artistry. Now comes the artistry of wax. This layer will hold the intricate details that give the bell its royal and spiritual identity. Every scale of the Nguyen dynasty dragon is carved by hand, requiring a level of focus that borders on a meditative state. In the quiet corners of the workshop, time slows down. The artisan ignores the world to focus on the tip of his carving tool. These motifs are not merely decoration, they are the face of the sacred, representing power, wisdom, and the protection of the Dharma. Though his hands may shake with age, his spirit is firm. Each stroke is guided by 30 years of muscle memory and artistic vision. The lotus represents purity, while the clouds symbolize the celestial realm. Together, they create a visual sermon on the surface of the bronze. The artisan's gaze is unwavering. He sees the finished bell within the wax, his eyes interpreting the ancient traditions of the Nguyen kings. Collaboration is key. One provides the heat, the other the skill, working in a silent rhythm that has been perfected over decades. The sacred texts must be flawless. Each character carries a blessing, and any error would diminish the spiritual power of the great bell. True art is born in solitude. While the city sleeps, the artisan continues his labor, driven by a commitment to perfection and heritage. A simple breath clears the path for the next detail. The work is physically demanding, but fills the soul with a profound sense of purpose. This wax layer is the soul's blueprint. Soon it will be sacrificed to the heat, leaving behind a cavity for the molten bronze to fill. The artisan smiles. He knows that these delicate lines will soon be immortalized in bronze, surviving long after his own hands have rested. The preparation of the skin is complete. Now, the quiet work of the chisel gives way to the thunderous power of the fire. The furnace awakens like a sleeping giant, but its hunger fed by piles of wood as the temperature climbs toward a staggering 1200 degrees. Solid bronze ingots are cast into the heat, the first step in a violent transformation that will turn hard metal into a flowing river. Men and fire dance together in a dangerous ballet. The heat is unbearable, but the rhythm of the work must never be broken. Inside the crucible, the bronze loses its form. It becomes a liquid essence, pure and incandescent, ready to take on a new life. The smoke of the foundry rises high above the trees, a signal of creation that has been seen in this village for centuries. Every worker contributes his strength to the fire. The physical toll is immense, but the shared goal keeps them moving forward. The master watches the color of the light. He knows by the shade of orange and white when the metal has reached its perfect state. There is no room for error. A few degrees too low and the metal will not flow, but too high and it will lose its integrity. The foundry is a cacophony of power. The roar of the fire is the heartbeat of the workshop, driving the creation of the bell. In the face of the fire, human endurance is tested. This is the labor of the warriors of bronze in the ancient capital. The mold is lowered into the earth, the final resting place where it will wait to receive the white-hot liquid from the furnace. Burying the mold provides the pressure needed to keep the structure intact during the violent moment when the metal enters the cavity. Final preparations are made with obsessive care. A single pebble or a stray piece of dust could ruin months of intricate carving work. Only the purest metal is allowed to become the bell. The impurities are cast aside, leaving only the essence of the bronze. The moment of truth approaches. The entire workshop is bathed in a supernatural light, the glow of 1,000 suns captured in a pot. The signal is given. The long wait is over, and the climax of the casting process is about to begin in a flash of fire.
Open the gate!
The molten bronze begins its descent. It is a moment of extreme danger and extreme beauty, where human skill meets the raw power of nature. Together, they move with the strength of a single entity. The weight of the bronze is immense, requiring absolute synchronization and unwavering courage. The stream is steady and true. The liquid fire flows into the earth, filling the void left by the wax with indestructible metal. Every second counts. The metal must not cool before it reaches the furthest corners of the intricate dragon carvings and the sacred texts. A violent birth. The interaction between the hot metal and the cool mold creates a chaotic dance of fire and dark smoke. Commands are shouted through the roar of the furnace. Every man knows his role, and there is no room for hesitation or doubt. The mold is full, and the bell has been fed with the bronze, and now the long process of cooling and hardening begins underground. As the smoke clears, a heavy silence falls over the foundry. The intense energy of the pour gives way to a quiet, collective prayer. The master artisan knows that his part is done. Now, the earth and the metal must work their magic in the darkness below. The spiritual blessing continues. The transition from liquid to solid is a sacred time, a period of ordination for the great bell. The heat slowly dissipates. What was once a raging river of fire is now becoming a solid, enduring monument to faith and skill. The tools are set aside. The physical battle is over, leaving the men to wait for the reveal of their hidden masterpiece. Evening falls on the Phuong Duc village. The spirits of the ancestors are said to watch over the cooling bells during the night. Wait and hope. The artisan's connection to the work doesn't end when the pouring stops. He stays close until the very end. So in the silence of the night, the bell takes its final form, a secret miracle occurring beneath the surface of the Hue soil. A new day dawns, bringing the moment of revelation. The earth is pulled back to reveal what the fire has created overnight. The clay shell shatters like a chrysalis breaking open. The rough earth gives way to the brilliant, shining beauty of the new bronze. Rising from the depths, the great bell is born. It emerges from its earthy grave as a shimmering beacon of spiritual artistry. Every detail carved in wax has been perfectly preserved.
Slowly now.
The dragon lives, and the sacred words are now etched in eternity. The master's heart is full. The gamble of the fire has paid off, and his 30 years of experience have produced another miracle. Polishing the bell is like awakening its soul. The light of the sun now reflects off its surface, as bright as the Dharma itself. The first strike, the sound is deep, pure, and carries for miles, and a testament to the perfect harmony achieved by the master's hand. The bell travels to its new home, a gift from the people of Phuong Duc to the eternal spirit of the Hue, ancient capital. Suspended between heaven and earth, the bell finds
Kéo
its
căng dây bên
purpose.
phải.
Được
It
rồi,
is no
cứ thế mà
longer
đi.
just metal, it is a bridge to the divine. With each strike, the sound waves wash over the city, carrying messages of peace, compassion, and the timeless heritage of the Vietnamese people. The echo of the great bell is the heartbeat of Hue. It is the voice of the artisans who gave their lives to the bronze. In every vibration, the spirit of the ancient capital lives on, a legacy of fire, earth, and the immortal soul of the artisan.